Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you, Yadima.
Okay. Okay, good evening. It's evening from my end. Good evening to you all. I'm excited to be here. All right, Nosmaiwa has actually done the introduction and has welcomed everyone. So thank you for taking time out of your schedules to make it to this webinar tonight. All right. So I want to encourage you to actually open up your mind to new insights because it's going to be an eye opener. It's going to be value packed. There's going to be a whole lot of insights to gain at the end of the day. I remember when Nasmaiwa reached out to me and we began planning for this webinar. And when she mentioned that we'll be talking about digital skills, I was like, this is really going to be a powerful one. Because if you know me on LinkedIn, right, I don't talk about digital skills basically, but then that is actually the foundation to what I'm doing currently in my career and whatever I have to do in my entrepreneurial journey. So digital skills has been the bedrock, it has been the foundation of everything at the end of the day. And you're going to be learning how you can actually tap into this trend, into what is actually currently trending, even in the healthcare, even in the world to actually enhance your career and enhance your life, okay, in the long run. So I'm going to be sharing my screen because I have slides, okay, for the presentation. I'll be sharing my screen. So you'd confirm if you can see. Okay, so Nasmaiwa, you'd have to enable me to share my screen.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you able to share now?
Yes. Okay. No, it's still showing disabled.
Okay, let me try again.
Okay.
Okay.
It's still showing post disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. Try now. Sorry about
Okay.
it.
Fine. Okay, yeah. I think I can. All right. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen.
We can't see it yet.
You can see. Okay. That. All right. So tonight, just like Nasmaya has actually introduced, we're actually going to be looking at the aspects of digital skills, right? And monetization for nurses. I'm just going to assume maybe you've heard of digital skills before, maybe it's your first time, but regardless, you're going to be gaining a whole lot of insight, all right, on what digital skills are and why is it important for nurses, okay? Is it just for specific professionals or is it also important for nurses? And then beyond acquisition of digital skills, you need to know how you can be able to monetize the skills, all right, so that you don't just learn skills and then drop them elsewhere, all right, without use. So tonight's webinar, you're going to be learning a whole lot. So I encourage you to, have an open mind, have your pen and paper ready. Okay, it can be your notepad to take down notes. All right, and also write down your questions. All right, so we're going to begin right away without wasting much time. Okay, so we're going to look at what digital skills are. Okay, what exactly are they? And then the importance of digital skills acquisition to nurses. All right, and then we're going to look at the top skills to acquire as a nurse and their benefits. And then we're going to look at the must-have skill for every nurse to acquire. Okay, and then what next? What do you do after digital skills acquisition? We're going to look at that. And then the concluding part, and then the aspect for what? Questions and answers. All right. So let's proceed. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this quote from Julie Sweet. All right. I quote saying, it is very hard to transform, right, your culture and your workforce, okay, to a relevant company in the digital world if all your processes are still stuck in the traditional world. All right. So we're in the digital world and the world is just constantly evolving. Gone are the days where things are, just done physically and analog, right? We're in the world whereby you can see that if not even all, but as long as you have a smartphone, all right, you're actually in a digital world. And almost everyone has found their ways into social media and everything that has to do with the digital space. And so, as healthcare workers, as healthcare professionals, we need to find ways to actually incorporate, these digital skills, tech, and everything that has to do with incorporating technology into healthcare. Because at the end of the day, it's not just for our own benefit, but to enhance patient care and to actually make impact at the end of the day. All right. So before I begin fully, all right, who am I and why should you listen to me? Okay, so that's my had actually, read my bio. So I'm not just going to delve much on that. All right. So I'm currently a foreign trained nurse who studied from Uganda. Okay, and I'm working towards my transition process to a registered nurse in Nigeria. And I'm also an entrepreneur. Okay, specializing in digital marketing and then publishing as an author on Amazon. So I'm going to give a brief background story to how it all started with, acquiring digital skills, embracing digitalization. So it all started from COVID-19. All right. I'm sure COVID affected everyone. Okay. The world was shut down and I was still in university that time. And that year just went wasted. Okay. And I've always wanted to learn something just beyond the formal education, beyond school. It was something that's always been in my mind. And so when COVID came, I knew that I needed to, take a step, but I didn't take a step that year because I didn't really have guidance and then, procrastination. So it wasn't until the next year again when the phase two of COVID came and our school closed for 3 months from June to, I think, August. Yeah, June to August. And so that was when I reminded myself, I was like, okay, there is no prophet that needs to tell me I need to find a skill beyond just, formal education. And that was when I started exploring the online opportunities and the internet. So I launched my business, my first online business in my final year in the university. Okay. But almost immediately that I started, I faced severe setbacks. Okay. So, and I would have just given up, but then I'm not this kind of person that could easily quit. So I had to go back to the drawing board and find out what I was lacking. And then I realized that I was just, working towards getting results without doing the main process, which is getting skills, business skills, digital skills. And that was where it all started from. I had to go back, start by learning the essential digital skills I needed to build my business. All right. And today I've built a successful online business, empowered others. And this has also been like a leverage for me. It has been an initiation for me to also explore the digital aspect in nursing and healthcare as well. So, and I'm just giving a background story so you would know where it all started from. All right. So, if in case you're like me before, who I hated anything, I found IT or anything ICT related, I thought it was just so complicated, overwhelming, maybe for just smart persons. But then, as the world has it now, the world is constantly evolving, and the best thing you can do for yourself is to embrace digital skills. All right. So let's proceed. So what exactly are digital skills? You've been hearing digital skills, digital skills. What exactly are digital skills? It's really not something complicated. All right. It's the abilities you need to be able to use digital devices, communication applications, and networks to access and manage information. You would agree with me that, especially in healthcare and even all around, we deal with information almost every single day. Like right now, we're dealing with information. You've been in this webinar, all right? We are sharing information right now. So, how are we be able to access information, share information, manage information? Which platforms are we using to share this information? What skills are we using to share this information? These are actually digital skills. Okay, incorporating digital devices, communication applications, networks to access and manage information. So that is just the basic definition for what digital skills, and you'll be finding out more as we proceed. Okay, so why is digital skills important for nurses, right? First of all, to enhance patient care. I know you would agree with me that without patients, I don't think there'll be nurses. Okay, so nursing is is formed across that patient care. Without the patient, there is no way that would go about, because even if you're in the bedside, even if you're actually having a role beyond the bedside, okay, there's just one way or the other that whatever you're doing, it has to impact patients, all right, directly or indirectly. So the need to acquire digital skills is very, very important for nurses if we want to enhance patient care. Okay. And these days, you would even find patients coming to the hospital and they are fully aware of their conditions, of the disease process that they have. So imagine as a nurse, you don't have, that insight, that enough insight to even tackle, patients who are already aware. All right. So that would be bad. So actually, one of the benefits for acquiring digital skills as a nurse is to enhance patient care. Okay. So the good thing is, in today's world, we don't even have deal with so much files. Right. I was opportunity to actually, because I've not started practicing fully yet, but then I was able to visit a hospital here in Nigeria, and then I've seen the way the healthcare is actually going, and then it's so glad I'm so glad to be able to see that beyond just dealing with patients files every day, there's actually incorporation of systems right now. Okay, so instead of nurse following a patient to see the doctor, following the patient to the pharmacy with files, all right, we are able to use electronic medical records, as you're going to see, as that is one of the digital skill which is very, very essential in today's world, to incorporate and record patient information. So you find out that from the consultation room from the doctor, okay, you don't need to start carrying files to accompany the patient to the pharmacy where they will get their medications. All right. All this information has been passed across through systems, through computers, and it wouldn't be effective without digital skills. All right. So that is one benefit of actually, acquiring digital skills to enhance patient care. Another one is to advance what our careers, all right, advancement in career. So the greatest mistake you want to make is, when you're done with school, at least that's the first certification you get, either it's a diploma or a degree, and then you just, stop learning. That is actually the greatest mistake you can make in your career. All right. Nursing and the healthcare needs us to constantly embrace learning, continuous self-development, because things keep on changing. We have new medications coming in. We have, new disease process, like a whole lot happening. So you need to embrace, continuous learning. All right. So, and digital skills, beyond just getting soft skills, beyond getting clinical skills, you need to be able to embrace digital skills as well, because that would help you. All right. Not you competing with other ones, with other nurses or other people, but then it's you advancing yourself, becoming a better version of yourself. All right. You don't want to remain in the same spot you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it serves as a competitive edge, because in the job market now, okay, you find that a role be given to someone who is more tech savvy than someone who does not even have any digital skill. All right. So you don't have to learn all the digital skills that there are. You can just start with one, okay, based on your interest, based on your goals as well. And then, of course, digital skills opens doors to leadership opportunities. All right. Sorry. Leadership skills open doors to opportunities. Let us switch the line. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, digital skills actually what opens doors to leadership opportunities. Okay. That is, as a leader, you need to be able to, there is no one would actually want to give leadership roles to someone who is way behind. Okay. So if you're actually looking forward to getting leadership roles and then exploring leadership opportunities, then you want to stand ahead. You want to stay, keep up ahead of everyone. Okay. And that includes learning skills that can put you way ahead of everyone because you need to advance. That is it. And no one would want to give a role, no one wants to give you a role in a leadership position when you're way behind. So that is why even this webinar is very, very important to, embrace learning, continuous learning, where you can actually take advantage of what digital skills. So let's continue. In terms of entrepreneurship, yes, you need digital skills. Just like I gave my background story, right? I had to go back to learning, okay, the digital skills, the business skills I needed to sustain my business. And it's the same thing, okay? So you can easily transfer the skills you learn digitally, all right, to build businesses, to establish businesses, to get started with side hustles, of course, monetize them, all right? And then you might not necessarily have to go away from, nursing to build businesses. Even from clinical skills, all right, you just incorporate it with the digital skills you can learn and then, build a business, right? Because in the future, you can decide to go into health coaching, online consultations, even private nursing practice at the end of the day, okay? So I like this other part, which is building your brand, okay? So if at the end of this webinar, all right, you don't find a reason to actually acquire or learn a digital skill, please do because of building a brand, okay? And the reason I say so is I became intentional with building my brand on LinkedIn this year. Okay. So imagine if I didn't start building my brand on LinkedIn, my online presence on LinkedIn this year. I don't think Nosmaya Wow would have actually, seen me. I don't think I would have been able to network, connected with Nosmaya Wow and other great professionals on LinkedIn. I don't think I'll be even speaking with you today. So if you have no reason to learn digital skills, all right, just have this in mind that you want to actually learn a digital skill to build your online presence because across social media platforms. Okay, you can start with one, platform at a time because your online presence can speak volume. It can speak for you even offline. At the end of the day, it is more of like it can serve as an asset for you. All right. So let's proceed. Another benefit is lifelong learning and professional development, like what we're doing right now, networking. Okay. Imagine if I'm not able to use platforms, we are not able to use platforms like Zoom, okay, this Zoom meeting, um, presentation skills, and all that. So we'll not be able to network effectively, we'll not be able to actually, explore learning opportunities, okay? Even digital skills, being able to use platforms like this for continuous learning is actually one of the importance of learning digital skills. So you need it. Like I said, nursing and the healthcare field involves continuous learning at the end of the day. So another one is adaptability to technological advancement. Seriously, the world is evolving. Even for anything again, you want to learn a digital skill because of the world is evolving. The world is no longer the way it was, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Things are constantly evolving, right? Like tech has found its way into health, right? The world has evolved. Okay, you want to stay current, you want to future proof your careers. Those today who have digital skills, those today who are able to incorporate, tech skills and embrace the digitalization that the world is bringing, they will stay ahead. All right. So another thing is improved patient education. Okay. So another thing is beyond the bedside. One way to actually, like I said, it's not even all persons. At least 90% of humans now are on social media, and these humans, most of them are actually our patients, isn't it? So for you to actually go beyond the bedside and educate, create public awareness, share information, then you need to be able to use the social media. You need to be able to have digital skills that can help you to share information. Remember, the concept of digital skills is being able to share information, okay, access information, manage information using platforms, okay, using devices at the end of the day that would, of course, create an action from the recipient at the end of the day. All right. So we actually still have more benefits, all right, which is increased efficiency, okay, streamlined processes and time management, reducing paperwork, okay. Instead of, like, I made example with dealing with files that might even make the hospital look so cluttered, and it reduces errors at the end of the day. Okay, when you incorporate the use of computers right now to save, record patient information, you're saving time with writing, saving time with dealing with files, okay, right? And then, of course, it makes it so effective at the end of the day, all right? It makes it so effective. And then the global reach and the impact, all right? Yes, even aside, beyond anything, digital skills, like I said, using social media, which I'm going to use that example. So social media is here to stay. Okay, it's either you embrace it positively or just or just use it. Okay. So beyond just consuming the content that you find on social media, you have something in you to share with the world. You don't have to wait until you gain full expertise. You have something in you wherever you are, whether you're a student, whether you're already a registered nurse, okay, whether you've advanced, you've gotten specializations, you have something in you to share with the world. Okay. So and then this is actually a better way to reach your audience globally. I'm going to use an example with this. He's quite popular, all right? That's Afro Doctor in Nigeria, okay? So one of the very reason that made him to start content creation, like he stated in one of his videos, was to reach a broader audience, okay? Was to reach a broader audience. He said he was dealing with, more than 70 patients a day. And as a doctor with, work overload, there is no way you can be able to effectively communicate what patients need to know, all right, at the end of the day. So he tried to find out, okay, where are patients gathered on social media? And that was where content creation started. He had a big goal, okay, not beyond the money, he had a big goal. And that big goal kept him going, even when, of course, setbacks, because setbacks will come, definitely, even with, acquiring digital skills, you might experience challenges. That's just one thing, okay? That's one thing about life. Challenges is always there. You can't escape them. Okay. But when you have a big goal to why you're acquiring a digital skill today, then it will help you keep going at the end of the day. All right. So let's just proceed to the next slide. So what are the digital skills that you should acquire? All right. So before we actually go in depth into each and every of the digital skill that you want to acquire as a nurse or health professional, first of all, I have to put this disclaimer that I can't tell you which skill exactly you should acquire, right? And that is why I think I posted it on LinkedIn. I said you should actually write down your goals. What career goals do you have? When you have your career goals down, you'll be able to know which digital skill you need to acquire because every skill is important. And yes, you can't learn all the skills at once. Okay, you have to choose them based on how it's relevant to your goals and based on your interest at the end of the day. Don't just learn the skills because we are saying you should learn them. Don't just learn them because this is what is trending. Have a big why, have a big goal to why you need to learn the skill. All right. So to determine which skills you need to acquire, you have to consider your career goals. Okay, it's very, very important. What areas are you looking forward to improve? And so these are the criteria that I've actually jotted down here. First of all, you need to define your career objectives. What goals do you have? What do you want to achieve? even before the year runs out, we have 5 months to go in 2024. What do you want to achieve? What are your short-term goals for your career? Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want to transition? Do you want to transition beyond bedside roles? Do you want to transition into tech? Do you want to, specialize, get specializations in particular aspects? So you need to define your goals. You need to have clear goals written down. When you have clear goals for every other thing, you need to have it for what? For your career. And that is one way for you to know which digital skill to acquire. All right. Not because nurse A is acquiring, let us say, graphic designs, and then you also rush into, acquire graphic designs. As much as graphic designs is not bad, it's important in today's world, right? But then you need to understand, does it really align with what you want to accomplish with your career at the end of the day? Okay. So defining your career goals is very, very what's important. And then the next step is to access your current role requirements. You need to identify the gaps in your current role. Okay. So are you effectively giving out that care to patients, or whether indirectly or indirectly? Are you doing your role effectively? If the answer is no, then you want to identify what gap is there, and then what digital skill do you need to acquire that will help you to be effective in terms of, giving patients care, in terms of advancing in your career. Okay. So, and then if you want to transition roles, you need to also identify what skills that you need that will help you, transition successfully at the end of the day, okay, to have an upper hand in the job market, okay. And of course, that takes us to the third point, which is analyze the job market trends, okay. If you want to, before you even submit your CV, before you even submit your resume and all that, you want to make sure that at least you've actually done your proper research to the kind of job, to the kind of role you're looking for, and then the skill that is needed. Okay. And I'm very sure beyond, like I said at the very beginning, beyond clinical skills, beyond soft skills, digital skills is something now that every recruiter is looking for, right? You don't have to learn all of them, you don't have to acquire all of them, but at least one can make a huge difference. Okay. And then you also want to consider specialization interest. Where do you see yourself specializing? That is, if you're still a student nurse, okay, or if you're a fresh graduate, or if you're still considering to specialize in other areas, where do you see yourself specializing, right, in the future? So this can help you to identify the particular digital skills to actually go for at the end of the day. Okay, let's say you want to go into cardiology, you want to go into public health. So what skill is needed? All right. You also want to evaluate your personal strengths. Like, what are you so good at? Okay, what are you so good at? And sometimes you might not necessarily be able to answer this question yourself. You can actually ask colleagues around you, friends around you. Okay, ask them, what have they seen you doing so effectively well that, without errors, without you do it so passionately. Okay, so that is your strength. At the end of the day, you can be able to find and acquire a digital skill within that personal strength to help you in what advancing and reaching your career goals. Okay. So other criteria include accessing time and resources. Okay. Yes, I know the nursing field can be so demanding, right? It can be so demanding, so time consuming. And I know that is one thing, that is actually one of the challenges that nurses will have. I say, I don't really have time to learn a digital skill. Okay, but time shouldn't be a limiting factor. I would say you should divide it into based on your strength. Okay, you can divide it maybe 6 month interval. That is in a year with 12 months. You want to say at the end of 6 months you have acquired one skill. At the end of another 6 months you have acquired another skill. Okay, it doesn't have to be different skills. It could be one skill and then you're advancing in that particular skill that you've already started learning. Okay, you could do it 3 times in a year. That is, at intervals of 4 months. Okay, you could do it 4 times in a year, which is interval of three months. So it just depends on your time and of course the resources, because these skills are quite affordable to learn. You can actually learn. There are free resources to help you get started. Okay, but if you want to also go advanced, right, that would also require you to have certain budgets for it. And of course, seek guidance from those ahead of you, those who are already in the field that you want to actually go into, right? Ask them questions, ask them for guidance. What skills did they learn? What skills do they think is valid, right? Especially in today's world, okay? And stay informed with the trends. Okay, how can you stay informed? Like this webinar we're having today, okay? You want to make sure you're attending webinars, you're attending conferences, of course, you're reading books, you're actually staying with the trends. Okay, as I said, you can either choose to use social media positively or negatively. And even on social media, you can get acquainted with whatever is trending. And that's one good thing. Okay, anything that is trending, you just find it on social media. So you can get acquainted with whatever is happening with the healthcare, all right? And then align it with your organization goals. Why I'm going in depth with why you need to understand all this before we even go into the digital skills is because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one to choose the digital skill for you to learn, okay? You're the one who is going to identify. Definitely, yes, there can be guidance, all right? But then at the end of the day, you're the one to choose which digital skill you need to acquire based on your career goals, based on all these criteria that we're actually talking about. So aligning with organizational goals, are you working in like directly in the hospital, or is it outside a hospital? Is it in a school? Is it an organization? Is it in a company? Okay, you want to find out what is the gaps. All right, you want to identify the gaps that are lacking in that organization and how you can fill that gaps by learning digital skills. And of course, another thing that can help you know which digital skill to learn is if you're considering entrepreneurial um, puzzles, right? If you want to go into the business world, that can also help you to know that okay, this is the particular skills I need to learn to help me transition or to just help me join business, establish a business alongside my career. Okay, another thing that can help you know which digital skill to acquire is reflecting on patient care. Okay, how exactly can I be able to improve myself with patient care at the end of the day? That can also help you. And then starting with foundational skills, right? If at the end of this webinar you still don't know which skill to go for, all right, even though this webinar is just to open our eyes, because if we are to discuss in depth on each digital skill, it's going to take forever. Okay. So, but even if at the end of the webinar, even if after answering all those questions, checking in all the criteria, and you still don't know which digital skill to start with, at least you can start with the foundational skills. Okay. I think the foundational skills here are having proficiency, expertise with computer. Okay. Being able to manage information, share information using what using devices, which basically that is related to electronic medical records, data analysis. Okay, at the end of the day. So another thing to consider is what certification part. What certificates do you need when it comes to maybe transitioning if you want to advance in your career? When you know the particular certificate you need to acquire, that can also help you choose the digital skill you need. Okay, so with this point, all right, I'm sure that you'll be able to when you actually ask yourself these questions, sit down to analyze these questions, you'll be able to know which digital skill you need, right? Rather than just going with the trends because it's digital skills, everyone is learning digital skills, let us just go and learn, right? You'll be able to understand why you need it and what you want to achieve with it at the end of the day. Okay. So we are going to proceed. Let me know if all of you guys can still hear me. And then how is it so far? Is it are you learning? Are you learning new things? Are you gaining insight? Let me get feedback before we proceed. Let me see in the comment. That's my hour. Uh, are there comments there if they are following and if they're actually gaining insight?
Yes, they are. I'll just
Okay,
read few comments. Verena said yes. And
okay,
learning rather. Ruth says yes, it's so insightful. Purity said I'm learning. Techno, I don't know that to say yes, ma'am. Learning a lot. Dockers, yes. Titilayo, yes. Peace, yes, I am. It's motivating. I'm learning well. Hester says yes, really learning and impactful. Emmanuel
okay,
says I'm learning well as well. Yeah.
okay. That's great. I'm glad you all are following. All right. So we're actually getting to the juicy part of it, which is the digital skills, right? The digital skills that you need in terms of career advancement, enhancing patient care. So that is actually what we are going into right away. Okay, so we're going to start with digital skills for enhanced patient care and clinical advancement. Okay, so when I was actually organizing this slide, I was contemplating, should I actually put this slide? Should I pick each digital skill and explain it bit by bit? I realized if we're going to do it this way, we would have, um, so much slides to deal with. Okay, so I decided to categorize these skills based on, do you need them in terms of clinical advancement, in terms of patient care? Do you need them in terms of entrepreneurship and so on? Okay. And you'll find out that these skills can also be found, you can find out that one skill here can be found across other goals. All right. So that is why I actually said from the very beginning, you need to understand your goal, because you're going to be finding out a whole lot of skills here. All right. And don't think it's overwhelming, right? Yes, it might get overwhelming, but then this is where the world is taking us to, and we have to adapt. Okay. So instead of, just trying to learn everything, understand your career goals, you need to set clear goals for yourself. What exactly do you want? Where exactly do you see yourself in your career? That will help you know what exactly you want. Okay, so if you're looking forward to enhance patient care, okay, improve in terms of giving patient care effectively, in terms of clinical advancement. So these are examples of skills that you need, okay? And it's not just even limited to the skills. Number one, of course, is computer proficiency. You need to be able to know how to use the computer. As simple as it may sound, it's very, 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 very important, because we can't just do without it, especially in today's world. So it's very, very important. All right. Another skill is the electronic health record management that helps us with incorporating patient information, saving it electronically in the computer without having to deal with files. Okay. Another skill is the health informatics and data analysis, data entry, visualization of this data is very, very important. You agree with me that with healthcare, we are dealing with a whole lot of data. Okay. From physical examination of the patient, okay, from the history taking of the patient, we are dealing with data. Okay, the medication, everything, diagnosis, we are dealing with data. Okay, so, and of course, where the world is taking us to, you need to be able to, if you want to advance your skills, and even have a skill that would enhance patient care, you also want to consider telehealth and remote patient monitoring. Okay, this is something that is also currently in demand, okay, because of the world is going virtual right now. Okay, another skill is a clinical decision support system, okay, that needs you to be able to make informed decisions as a leader. All right, so you need a skill in this. Also healthcare informatics, and then digital leadership. Okay, let's say for example, you would, like someone who is considering leadership roles, or you might not be considering leadership roles, but then you never can tell, opportunities to actually become a leader might find you at the end of the day. And what if you have to deal with a team? You need to lead a team virtually. How do you do it? So you can actually learn skills, digital leadership skills, okay, online. And then project management, okay? Yes, project management. I feel like everyone at the end of the day handles projects indirectly or directly, okay? Whatever we're working on, even our career itself is what is a project. Okay, so project management is actually a skill that if you're looking forward to advancing clinically and patient care, all right, it's something you want to consider. Then going forward, we have digital quality improvement and patient safety. Okay, we also have skills like digital ethics and compliance. All right. So we are bringing ethics into the digital world. All right. So we also have digital health policy and advocacy, where you involve yourself, of course, with changing policies, public health awareness. Okay. So public health campaigns and all that. We also have skill related to 3D printing in healthcare. Okay. So for example, let me give this example with prosthetics, where you're actually having replacements for organs, okay, for body parts. So there is the advanced part of it is actually going into 3D printing in healthcare. So if you want to advance yourself clinically, right, this is actually something you want to also consider. Okay, we also have digital health education and trainings. Like I said, beyond the bedside, to reach a global audience, you have to learn how to educate patients via social media, okay, digitally, resources, okay. So, and artificial intelligence, AI is here to stay, okay. So, you want to consider how to use AI and even machine learning in what in health. Like I said, you don't have to pick all the skills at once. You can start with one, keep advancing. And the good thing about the skills is they are so interrelated with each other. Okay. So we have another skill, healthcare social media. Yes, healthcare social media and digital marketing. All right, like I told you, social media is here to stay. So we just have to know how to handle social media. Yes, beyond just consuming content, you should be able to create content, okay, that is tailored to patient care and bringing about awareness of health, all right? And then use of mobile health apps, okay, and digital diagnostic tools. We have a whole lot of apps these days, and even mobile health apps that deal with fitness, okay, even fitness, even um that deals with talking of this vital signs and all that. So you should be able to know how to actually use this, because most patients today, they don't necessarily have to even go to the hospital. Sometimes they use this mobile health apps to actually check up on themselves. Okay, so you need to actually have, if you're considering clinical advancement, if you're considering patient enhancements, like patient care enhancements, then these are some of the skills you want to actually work consider. Okay, they're actually broad, and going in depth. I'm not going to go in depth on these skills. Okay, like I said, if you have to also, after this webinar, like I said, pinpoint what are your goals, pinpoint the criteria that will help you know which skill to acquire. From there, you can actually seek guidance, know which skill you want to acquire, and actually do more research and go in depth into these skills. Okay, but these are not just the skills that are limited when you want to bring about enhancement of patient care and clinical advancement. So, what are the skills you want to look at when it comes to effective communication? You don't agree with me that communication is very, very important, with patients, even with colleagues. Okay. So these skills, these are not necessarily skills, but these are platforms and tools that can help you to have effective communication, okay, with patients and even collaboration with colleagues. You should be able to learn how to manage emails. Okay. Yes. Right. If you're looking forward to effective communication, you should be able to learn how to manage emails. You should be able to learn how to use video conferencing tools like what we're using right now, Zoom. Okay, these are as easy as it may sound, right? These are actually things that are very, very vital. You should be able to know how to use digital whiteboards during presentations. Okay, because I'm very sure our continuous learning takes place even for healthcare professionals, even in the hospital. So you should be able to know how to use these tools. You should be able to know how to use project management tools like Asana. Okay, some of these tools might sound new to you, but like I said, when you know which skill you want to go for and you pick it, all right, when you start learning, at least it will become conversant, all right? So you should be able to know how to use cloud storage, solutions like Google Drive, Dropbox, where you need to, store information. It could be related to patients, okay, patient care. It could be related to hospital files. All right. So you should also be able to use literacy assessment tools at the end of the day. Like I said, these are not necessarily skills, but these are tools and platforms that requires you to actually know how to use them, utilize them. Because these skills is just beyond the skills. Is you being able to use platforms? Is you being able to use tools to actually share and manage information? All right. So moving forward, we also have digital health literacy. You should be able to acquaint yourself. The world is moving, right? With digital health, health is evolving into digitalization beyond just, the physical. bedside roles that we are having. Okay, how can you be able to treat patients online via video conferencing, okay, online consultations, okay, and tools like that. So also online patient education, like I said, with the use of social media platforms, okay, and even e-learning word platforms, portals, okay. And then we also have video creation tools. Okay, yes, we also have video creation tools. You should be able to utilize tools like this, okay? And then mobile health education apps, e-learning platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and then you should also be able to utilize patient feedback and survey tools to be able to know how effective that is. This will also, this is more of like when you're giving tailored patient care, okay, like individualized patient care. So being able to utilize survey tools to track feedbacks from patients, okay, this can also be even in courses of research and all that. Okay, so like I said, these are tools and platforms that you need to be able to get acquainted with if you want to be able to provide effective communication to patients, if you want to provide education to patients, okay, beyond just even bedside. And these are also tools that can help you collaborate with colleagues, okay, even in the hospital and even outside of hospital, okay. So moving further, we're going to go into the digital skills that you need when it comes to entrepreneurship and building your brand. All right. Yes, like I stated very earlier, I said if at the end of this webinar you don't have a reason why you want to learn a digital skill, let me give you a reason, which is what, to build your brand. Okay, building your brand is and there's just so many benefits to building your brand. That's just it. Like I said, I wouldn't be speaking here today if I wasn't intentional with building my brand on LinkedIn. You never can know the opportunities that comes with building an online presence. Okay. So we have skills like website development. All right. So these skills, at the end of the day, you might not necessarily need it for yourself, but your hospital, the facilities where you'll be working with might need a website. Okay, they might need someone to work on their website. And when you have a skill like this added to your CV, added to your resume, that is, advanced opportunity for you. Okay. You for entrepreneurship as well as brand building, you also want to learn how to utilize what we call search engine optimization, where if someone searches for particular keywords, okay, your profile should be able to pop up at the end of the day. Okay. Social media marketing, like I said, social media marketing, Facebook, start building your brand on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. And if you already have a profile across social media platforms and you've not been consistent, this is a reminder that you should pick it up and start. Okay, become consistent with building your brand. It will really take you a long way. All right. And then another one, content creation and marketing. Content creation and marketing. Say beyond just the monetization, beyond the benefits of making money in the long run, there is so much more that having skills with building your brand and entrepreneurship can actually help you, because it will position you as an expert in your field at the end of the day. Okay. So you can see email marketing is here again. We have project management. Okay. So these are, like I said, the skills are so interrelated and you can find them across, depending on your goal. You can find that one skill can keep, repeating itself in whatever goal, whether it's you seeking leadership opportunities, whether it's you trying to advance your career, whether you're doing it for the sake of patient care enhancement. You find that one skill keeps repeating itself, right? So that's to tell you the relevance of digital skills in today's world. So we have skills that includes writing. Okay, you should be able to write blogs, articles, ebooks. I always say something that healthcare professionals have so much information to share. All right, you have so much information to share with the world, and you should be able to utilize that. Okay, video content creation and marketing. And we have tools like YouTube. I can see a whole lot of nurses today. They have YouTube channels. They're utilizing Instagram Reels. They're utilizing TikTok to actually go into video content creation. Okay, and beyond just the monetization aspect, like I said, this is a way of creating awareness for patients. It's a way of building your brand, It's a way of positioning yourself. Okay. Even podcasting, all right, graphics design, being able to digital product creation, which can be ebooks, online courses, even recorded webinars. Okay, you should be able to know how to do stuff like that. And then also um, digital skills, all right, that can help you in terms of building your brand in entrepreneurship. We have influencer marketing and affiliate marketing that can also go a long way to help you. We have so many persons I've seen. There is this nurse that I've come across on TikTok, and I currently see that he has a huge following. I think over 100K, and currently he's a brand influencer. Okay, he influences for brands. All right. There was a day I come across his video where he was actually promoting scrubs. Okay, so this is actually something you can end up doing, and it all starts by building your brand. It all starts by learning the digital skills. Okay. So digital skills can help you host webinars, right? Like what we are doing right now. And as well as financial management. Seriously, yes, you need it. Even if you're not in business, you make money. At the end of the month, you make money. At the end of the day, you're making money. So how do you effectively manage your finances, right? To be able to know where your money is going to. Are you using it to actually invest back into your career? What exactly are you using it for? It's actually financial management is something to learn regardless of whatever goal you have. All right. Another one is the customer relationship management. Now, in this case, your customer might not necessarily be a client that seeks your services. It can be patient at the end of the day. Okay. And so we also have data analytics. You can see data analytics appears here again. And in this case, data analytics for business insights. And if you're currently building your brand on social media, let's say for example LinkedIn, you'd understand that it's very, very important to evaluate your weekly analytics. Okay, and that is actually you. That is another concept of data analytics, to see what is working and what is not working. Okay, so these skills are really, really what's important. And this is not just it's not just limited to this. Okay, there are more. But then, like I said, you need to identify what exactly is your goal and what do you want to achieve at the end of the day. That will help you to pick one skill out of these numerous skills that you're saying. All right. So we also have skills that can help you in terms of, in case you want to go into research, in terms of if you want to go into medical development, we have statistical analysis. That is like a more advanced, specialized form of data analytics. Okay. We also have clinical trial management softwares. There are softwares available right now in terms of what going into deep in-depth research. Okay. We also have research databases that helps you to access literatures and articles, e.g., PubMed. Okay, you should also be acquainted with bioinformatics tools. You should also be acquainted with survey tools as well, because these days, when we want to collect data during research, you find that you don't have to carry papers, print, bunch of papers to start giving people one after the other. You can just use Google Docs, right? You can use Google Sheets, you can use all those applications, survey tools, and just make sure that you incorporate the information you actually want to get, the questions you want participants to answer, and then you share it via links. Seriously, it's something that is not even complicated. So if you are looking forward to going into research field, then you want to make sure that there are certain skills that you incorporate, you actually acquire at the end of the day to help you stand out. Okay, so moving further, I think this is now adaptability to tech and trends. Okay, another thing is, if you don't know the skill you want to acquire, the fact that we are moving into a tech world where the world is just moving so fast, right? Into tech, into trends, then you need to find a skill. If you don't know which skill to acquire, then at least acquire a skill that can help you to prove, okay, to actually keep your career, to prove your career, future prove your career, that even in the future you'll still be relevant. Okay, you'll not be outdated. Okay, so first of all, the first one on the list here is professional networking platforms. Like I said, LinkedIn. I give an example here with LinkedIn. Okay, so I think it's because social media is a trend, and you need to build your brand. If you don't know where to start from, you can start with LinkedIn. Okay, you can actually start by building your online presence, you can see it's still coming back here again. It will help you, keep up with the whole trends that is going on. We also have skills that you need to learn to be able to access and be able to manage patients using language translation software, virtual assistance tool, okay, wearable health devices. These wearable health devices are so similar to mobile health apps and all these app developments that we have today. Okay, you can have like trackers to keep track of health and the blood pressure, the oxygen saturation of patients. So if you're looking forward into just transitioning into tech and all that, you also want to explore skills that can help you, become relevant in this aspect. Also, cybersecurity awareness, okay, protecting information. So if much as the world is evolving, information is so accessible, we are also at risk. Okay, so you being able to learn a skill that can actually protect information, okay, secure information is going to be very, very useful. Okay, you can find survey tools here as well. Inventory management systems, okay, skills that can help you keep inventories, track of what is coming in into the hospital, what is going out. Okay, and then we also have clinical trial management software for research as well. We also have billing and coding software. These are for those who want to uh, find themselves in the administrative aspect of healthcare. Okay, yes, as well as time management apps, data management and analysis is here again. Okay, you also want to utilize freelancing platforms. This can also be found in entrepreneurial skills as well. Okay, this is also something that is also trending freelancing. Okay, you also want to acquaint yourself with skills that can help you with scheduling softwares that deals with scheduling client schedules. Okay, especially if you're going to go into online consultations, you want to get that. Okay, and then patient portal management. All right, we have artificial intelligence. Again, we can't talk about tech without talking about AI. All right, and then we also have virtual reality for pain management and even other conditions, right? Where you actually utilize a certain uh, technology to help patients see and understand their conditions properly, like in a reality. Okay, we also have telehealth proficiency. We also have electronic health records. Okay, like I said, there are quite a lot, and for you not to get overwhelmed by saying, okay, which skill am I going to get among all the skills? Like I said, you need to go back from the very beginning. What is your career goal? Okay, what do you want to achieve? Where do you see yourself? What are your objectives? Okay, where do you want to specialize in? Where is your strength? Okay, this can help you to know which skill to go into. Are you looking forward to, gaining leadership opportunities to transition into certain roles? Are you looking forward to go into entrepreneurship? Are you looking forward to advancing your career? This criteria will help you know which digital skill to what to go for at the end of the day. Okay. So yes, this is the interactive aspect. I think we've actually come a long way. Okay. So I've been presenting, I've been speaking. So now I'm actually going to ask the audience a question now, which I need your participation. So what do you think is the must-have skill for every nurse? This question will lead us to monetization, okay, of digital skills. What do you think is the must-have skill that every nurse today should acquire, right? So Nurse Maiwa, you would help me to like if we have people who are participating and those who have dropped their feedback what they think is the must have skill that everyone should acquire today, you'd help me to read out the answers, so I'll see if there is anyone who would be able to get it right.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the
Uh,
must have skill for every nurse?
okay, so praise God says effective communication.
Okay.
You're still
Okay.
waiting for others.
All
Jamila
right.
said computer proficiency as the basic, and Latifat
Okay.
as well. Computer proficiency.
Okay. All right. There is no
We have only
answer that is
just
wrong.
three. We are 82 on this call. Come on.
What do
Yeah.
you think is the must have skill? that every nurse
Electronic,
should acquire.
Ethiod. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. Says Okay, I think I should just use my phone. That would be better.
Okay.
Okay, so we have electronic patient record. Then we have
Okay.
computer proficiency, data analysis and management, writing CRM and computer literacy, good technological skills, effective communication, computer proficiency again, and electronic health record. We have effective communication skills, good communication skills, telehealth and remote monitoring, health informatics and data analysis, effective communication, again, computer proficiency.
Okay.
Then Docker says communication skills, which encompass all other skills. Communication is the basic and the root of all. Comfort says electronic patient record, effective communication skills, ability to use electronic device, modern artificial intelligence, good communication skills again. Then we
Oh,
have patient portal management, then
okay.
effective communication, proficiency in computing. Then
Okay.
our says nursing and proficiency. Then we have social media marketing and digital marketing too.
Okay.
You've
All
not
right.
found, are you still looking for answers?
I think someone was quite close.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone was quite close. Very unique answer. Okay, so there is no answer that is wrong here. Like I said, every skill is important when it comes to acquiring digital skills, right? It depends on your goals at the end of the day. For someone might want to go into entrepreneurship, whereas you might not want to go into entrepreneurship. So you can't say that the skill they are learning is not going to be important. So every skill is very, very important. And just like, mentioned, that computer proficiency, data analysis, electronic medical records is very, very, very important, right? Especially that is actually like the foundational skills that if you don't know which digital skill you should learn, then you need to learn that. But when I'm talking about the must-have skill for every nurse, it's it's not like serving as a basic, but it's like a backup skill that for every skill you want to acquire today, okay, you should as a nurse have a backup skill. And that backup skill is none other than sales and marketing. So someone actually mentioned digital marketing, and wherever it's actually close because sales and marketing is also incorporated under digital marketing. And why did I say so? That will lead us into the monetization aspect of digital skills. Okay. So why I said sales and marketing is crucial for nurses is if you're looking to position yourself and actually monetize your skill, then you need sales and marketing. Now, don't get me wrong, every other skill that I mentioned here is very, very important. Okay. So if today you acquire a skill in electronic medical records, how do you position yourself? Because you're not the only nurse and you're not going to be the only person who has that skill. So how do you position yourself to be able to monetize that skill, to be able to give it to be given a role in the health, in the hospital that okay, you're effective. Okay, how can you be able to position yourself for recruiters to review your CV, to review your resume and give you certain roles, right? So that is where marketing comes into play. Every nurse, like I said, I won't say it's a basic skill, but it's a backup skill for every skill you learn. If today you tell yourself that I want to learn data analysis, you finish learning data analysis, you have acquired the skill. And now, what is the next thing to do? Monetizing the skill. And in terms of monetizing, it's not just get making money, right? Monetizing might mean different things for what different people. In terms of career advancement, okay, you might want to sell your ideas, your innovations to the healthcare sector. Okay. Marketing will help you to even negotiate salary. Okay. Marketing will also help you to put yourself out there, even via your CV, via your resume, that you should be picked among other resumes. You should be the one to be picked, to be given that role for whatever skill you've actually applied, you've actually you want to actually monetize at the end of the day. Okay. So sales and marketing is very, very crucial. All right. So if you want to go into entrepreneurship, sales and marketing, let's say, for example, you decide to learn a skill in project management. Okay. So sales and marketing will help you to position yourself, okay, as in project management to be able to manage other people's projects, okay, hospital projects and other things. Okay. Let's just say, for example, you need clients. And okay, if you want to also even go into public health as a leader, you need to be able to market the ideas to patients at the end of the day. So you'd agree with me that as a backup skill for every nurse, regardless of whatever skill you choose to learn today, you need sales and marketing. And the number one reason why you need it is for you to position yourself so that you can be able to monetize that skill. And like I said, monetization does not just mean making money, it means different things for different people depending on your goals. Okay. So if you want to be seen as an expert, when you start content creation today, how do you market yourself via your content? Okay. If you decide to um go into entrepreneurship, right? If you decide to go into entrepreneurship and you want to start a private nursing practice, how do you market your skills? Okay. If you want to advance your career, okay, at the end of the day, and you want to be given a leadership role, how do you position yourself? This all boils down to marketing, and sales and marketing has other skills under it at the end of the day. Okay, so I want you to, at the end of this webinar, have it in mind that whatever skill you want to acquire, you need to have a backup skill, which is the marketing skill, because acquiring the skill is one thing. Okay. Seeing the effect of that skill is another, which you need to monetize. And like I said, monetization does not just have to do with money. It means different things for different people depending on the goal. Your goal might be to acquire a job. So how can you market yourself in the job market to be chosen as an effective candidate for that job? That includes marketing. Okay. So, and skills that falls under marketing, we have personal branding. You will still find the skills under entrepreneurship and personal branding too. Yes, it includes personal branding, content marketing, email marketing, public speaking, presentation skills, networking. Okay, networking is also a form of marketing. Basic copywriting. Okay, how are you able to effectively communicate something that patients, the the audience will be able to understand and agree with you? It comes with copywriting. Okay, value proposition development. Okay, this can be seen in terms of, in terms of entrepreneurship, where, let's say, for example, what unique thing do you have to bring to the table that makes you different from other, marketers out there? But when you bring it to the aspect of health, okay, let's say, for example, you're trying to apply for a role. So what value do you bring to the table? What value are you going to bring to that hospital? What value are you going to bring to that sector, to that role that you're applying for? So if you don't know how to develop your unique value proposition, which falls under marketing skills, then you won't be able to monetize that one skill that you've acquired in the first place. Okay. We also have social media marketing. We also have either customer or patient journey mapping, SEO and digital marketing basics, sales funnel creation, negotiation skills. Okay. To negotiate your salary, to negotiate promotion. Okay. Market research and analysis. Okay. Even storytelling for building your brand. All these are skills that falls under sales and marketing, which you need. Okay. Like I said, sales and marketing is the backup skill for the number one skill that you need to acquire. So if today, at the end of this webinar, you tell yourself that I want to start with data analysis, when you're done acquiring data analysis, you need to be able to market yourself and promote yourself effectively, okay, to stand out, because you're not the only one who has acquired data analysis, and you'll not be the only one. Okay, so what makes you different? And that is where that marketing comes into play. I just hope that is understood. All right. And thank you so much for your participation, because all your answers are actually correct. All the skills are very, very essential. Like I said, they are very, very essential, but you need a backup skill, which is that marketing. So, how do you acquire these skills? Okay, we've talked about the skills, we've talked about the monetization, which I've actually thrown more light that for you to start monetizing your skill, you need sales and marketing. And monetization does not necessarily mean, making money from that skill. It can be you actually getting a job. All right, it can be you getting a leadership opportunity. Okay, monetization skills depend. So, for example, now we have how do you acquire these skills? Okay, now the how do we go about it? We have online courses and tutorials, which of course there are a whole lot of free resources. You can start from, I think we have Coursera, even LinkedIn offers free courses, YouTube. Okay, so you can start with online courses and tutorials, and then if you want to go advanced, also we have tools. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we also have seminars and workshops, just like the webinar we're having today. Okay, just like the webinar we're having today, you can also be able to know which skill to acquire and how to acquire these skills. Okay, via webinars, via seminars, via workshops. Okay, those ones that, of course, take prolonged days, like 3 days, 4 days a week. Okay, certifications can also help you acquire the skills. Like I said, from the very beginning, set career goals for yourself. What certificates do you need if you want to transition, if you want to get a new role? Okay, that can help you to know what skill to acquire and how to acquire it. And then on the job training, there are some skills that you also acquire even while you're on the job. Okay, practicing, and that is actually one way to actually acquire skill. Okay, yes, you can be able to utilize the skills you've acquired if you don't implement it, if you're not practicing it. Okay, so another way to acquire the skill is self-directed learning. Okay, you can actually, like I said, you can actually, they're actually free resources. You can get them through ebooks, through course programs. Okay, as well as even YouTube. All right, and we have Udemy, Coursera, and other platforms that offers self-paced learning. And then professional associations and conferences. These are also ways to acquire skills. Okay, and practice and even hands-on experience. Okay, it can be through peer learning and in groups. Okay, it can be through mobile apps. Yes, it can be through boot camps and intensive programs. Yes, like for example, certain skills where you need to acquire them. You find out that they say 2 weeks intensive training, 3 weeks intensive training, and at the end of the day, you're certified. Okay, so those are examples of how you can actually acquire these skills. If you don't want to go through the self-directed learning, you don't want to go through the self-paced online courses, you can actually join boot camps and intensive programs. Even academic programs, if you want to advance, get a specialization, for example, in health informatics, okay, you would want to acquire words. You would also want to go back to school, okay, go back for a master's, go back for a specialization, okay, go back for another degree in that particular skill that you want to acquire. Even internships are another way to acquire this skill that you're looking for. It just depends on what you want at the end of the day. All right, so we have now roadmap on what to do next. We've actually seen what digital skills are. We've gone through what examples of these skills and where they fall into. Either you want to advance your career, either you want to go into research, either you want to build your personal brand. And we've just seen how to acquire these skills, right? So what do you do next? If you pick the skill you've learned, if you've acquired it, what do you do next, right? So first of all, you need to accept and set goals. Okay, what do you want to do with that skill that you've learned? Do you want to get a new role? Do you want to get a new job? Okay, do you want to use it in terms of entrepreneurship? Do you want to build your personal brand with it? Do you want to advance your career with that skill you've learned? Okay, set goals. Setting goals is very, very important. It's the foundation you need for everything. Okay, another thing is developing a plan. You need to develop a plan. Okay. When I acquire this skill, for example, this is 5 months left in 2024. When I acquire this skill, this is what I need to do with it. And from there, I'm going to transition here. Okay. I need to also network with other people and all that. So you need to develop a plan. Okay. Setting goals. Of course, when you set goals, it comes backed up with the plan. Okay. You need to create a professional portfolio. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to now start creating a website. Though it can be, you can create a website for yourself, you can create a digital portfolio for yourself. But one way to actually create a professional portfolio is through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is going to help you showcase your skills, showcase your certifications, showcase your experiences. I'm sure you've heard, the saying that LinkedIn is the online CV now. Okay, so even if you don't have a website, you can actually utilize LinkedIn to showcase the skills you've learned. Okay, because at the end of the day, when recruiters come, all right, they might, at the end of the day, when they're even looking through your CV and all that, they might go ahead to do background check to see your experiences, to see recommendations that people have left on your profile, to see the skills you've actually acquired at the end of the day. So building a professional a portfolio, which, like I said, the easiest way to do that is what building a brand on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn showcases like the basic aspect, the foundational things everyone needs to know about your career. Okay. And then we also have networking and community involvement that can help you. All right. When you network with people, you you end up getting on with collaborations, okay, getting on with projects at the end of the day. That can help you to be able to utilize these skills you've learned instead of just acquiring a skill, you get a certification and just dump it, right? You want to network with people and see how you can bring this skill into action. Practical application, it could be involving in projects, it could be direct patient care or indirect patient care. All right. And like I said, offering services and monetizing these skills through entrepreneurship, okay, through social media. All right. And like I said, for you to be able to monetize these skills, you also need that marketing involved. And then continuous learning. Okay. It's not just for you to learn one skill and then that's it. Okay. Okay. You don't also have to learn. Let's say for today, you're going to start learning now EMR, that is electronic medical records, and tomorrow you've jumped into video editing, and next day you've jumped into SEO, right? So you can actually make a plan by advancing. So if today you want to learn electronic medical records, you can find an advanced this skill that they have their advancements at the end of the day. So you can keep advancing this skill set. So you've started learning, don't stop learning, okay? And then measure and evaluate your progress. At the end of the day, when you've set goals, what is the goal of the skill? Is it to land opportunities, land gigs? Is it to advance your career, get a promotion, get increased pay? Okay. So at the end of the day, you want to now analyze, has this skills been able to get you the result you've always wanted? If no, what do you need to do? What strategy should you change? Should you apply? Okay. It's going to be wrong if you acquire a digital skill and then because you're not just seeing results immediately, you feel like, okay, no, this is not for me. I'm going back to being stuck in the traditional role, right? That shouldn't be your situation. You actually want to measure and evaluate progress. And even if you're not making progress, even if you're not seeing the result that you need to achieve, it might need you to seek guidance. It might need you to actually change strategies. And I like to say it's better to actually take breaks, okay, and reevaluate and come back stronger than giving up. Okay. Engage in mentorship. Yes, if you don't know what to do next after acquiring a skill, if you don't even know which skill to acquire, like I said, make sure you have the guidance of someone. Because you can reach out to Nurse Mayowa, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to other nurses out there who you actually look up to at the end of the day. All right. And someone who you actually want to be in their position, who you actually admire, who is currently in the field that you want to go into. Okay. And then promote and market yourself. That is what you need to do. No one would know that you have a skill if you don't put yourself out there. How do you put yourself out there? That is where personal branding comes in play. So, like I said, if you're not going to acquire a digital skill because of anything, do it because you need to build your personal brand. It's very, very important. All right, have an online presence beyond what you do offline. Okay. And so what do you do next after you acquire a skill is to explore advanced opportunities. Don't just sit back. And because you've acquired a skill, let's say one skill in 2024, before you acquire another skill, before you advance again, it will be in 2030. That will be wrong. Okay. You should embrace continuous learning. I'm very sure we are very conversant that as healthcare professionals, we need to embrace continuous learning because the world is just constantly evolving at the end of the day. Okay. So this is actually the roadmap on what to do next. All right. So keynote. Okay, keynotes from all what we've just been saying. First, you need to identify your goals. When you know what you want, okay, when you have a vision, when you have that clear goal written down, you would know which skill is most relevant to your career goals at the end of the day. Like I said, don't learn video editing because you see another nurse is learning video editing. In as much as it's very, very important, but that may not be the skill you need based on your career goals. So you need to identify your goals, your short-term goals, your long-term goals. That will help you. That's the critical aspect that will help you to determine what digital skill you need. All right. And do your research. This is just an eye opener. You need to do your research as well. And even seeking for mentorship can also help you in terms of that. Okay, do your research. What courses do you need? What certifications do you need to have in the current role that you're looking for. Okay, identify the gaps that you actually need to fill in the current role. Okay, and then look for training that match your needs. Like I said, there are free resources, there are premium resources. It just depends on what you have, your time and your budget. Okay, and when you've done the research, enroll, sign up for a course, sign up for a program, get a training, learn from a mentor. All right, and after learning, it is going to be very bad when you get a skill and you get a certificate and you dump it. Please apply what you've learned. Okay, through hands-on projects. It's if you're not using it for getting a job, you can start a project. You can collaborate, like network with professionals, and you guys can actually start on projects. You can explore entrepreneurship. Okay, you can explore content creation. No, you need to practice. If you apply, the more you apply what you've learned, the more you build your expertise, and people would regard you, okay, as an authority, as an expert in that field. Okay, like I also mentioned, network with other professionals. Okay, because we keep learning. Like myself, I'm still learning. Trust me, I'm still learning when it comes to even this whole digital skills, right? I'm also still learning. So you want to network and connect with other professionals. This will help your learning and this will help you share experiences. Okay, you never can tell the opportunities that can come from that, and stay updated. Continuously seek out for new learning opportunities. And as you learn, implement. Don't just dump it. Okay, as you learn, implement. Okay, because the world is constantly evolving. And one way to stay updated is like webinars like this. Of course, on social media, you would find the new information that you need in terms of what advancing your career. And of course, you can, I'm sure we all belong to one community or the other. So that's very, very important. Belonging to what one health community or the other. Actually, in conclusion, remember that digital health landscape is evolving, and continuous learning and self-development, being able to adapt, right? And the good thing is, see, anyone who has studied nursing or any course related to the medical field, you will know that the health field it has its own challenges. So if you've been able to skill through nursing, trust me, you can be able to skill through digital. You can be able to skill through every digitalization and what the digital skills. All right, you have that ability to adapt. Okay, we already have it in us as nurses. We have that ability to adapt, to continuously learn, and have a proactive approach. Okay, don't wait until you don't have to wait until someone have to push you, okay, to learn. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually learned something new to advance your career? Save the certification you got for the very first time after school. What other certification have you added? Okay, what are you doing to stay ahead? Okay, you want to better yourself. The greatest mistake you can make is remaining in the same sport for a very, very long time. Yes, we know sometimes there are certain times that life can through challenges cause delays to happen, but then you don't want to just act as a victim. You want to take advantage of whatever opportunity you have to learn a skill. Now that digital skill is trending, you want to learn because there will be a time which I think the world is constantly evolving, so we don't even know what will happen again in the future. So you really don't want to be left behind. That is just the truth. So whether you're aiming for a career advancement, you want to do it for the sake of your patient, you want to do it because you want to be seen as um as a voice when it comes to innovation in healthcare. Okay, maybe you want to explore entrepreneurial opportunities. Digital skills serve as a strong foundation for success in the modern health care and even environment. So actually that brings us to the end of this presentation. I've actually spoken for long now. This is 8:38. So this brings us to the question and answer section.
Wow.
That's Joanne.
Before we go into the question and answer section, this has been mind blowing. My notes is actually full. If I can show you my notes, it's filled up. Like I said earlier, in as much as I'm the host of this session, I'm also here to learn. And it's been a packed session, and I'm sure others can attest to that. So I want us to drop your feedback in the comments. Let us know how this session has been for you. Are you getting light? Is it useful for you? Do you want us to just end this meeting and go home? Let me know in the comments. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. And like I said, you keep learning every day. There are things where you think, oh, and then you listen to other people talk, and then you realize, oh yes, I need to do this more. And like you said, there's a need to always learn, continuous learning, like you've mentioned. And as healthcare professionals, we can't even do without learning.
You can't do
Yeah,
without
so I
it.
have a lot of feedback from here. It's been a very packed session indeed. Thank you for the wonderful session. This is a premium session. Yes, like if you were to register for this kind of session, you'll be paying a lot of money to be able to access this, right? So it was impactful, it's been enlightening, educating, extremely educative, so impactful and educative. Yeah, so keep the feedback coming. I'm very sure others can attest to that. And I actually wanted to highlight few points that stood out to me, and I'm sure others also have few points that stood out to them. And if you can drop that in the comments as well, it will go a long way to encourage our speaker. So few like I said, I wrote down a lot of things, but like the ones that actually stood out to me the most is that when you mentioned the word future proof your career, right? So I was like, yes, because you never can tell where you will meet yourself in the future. I remember
Exactly.
when I also got interested into, learning a skill to help me, like just to be able to eat, that kind of thing. I didn't even know that will serve me eventually with what I now do now. Because there are days where I just go on Canva and then design stuff for myself without having to wait for someone to design for me. To be able to set up, like you said, meetings like this and other stuff, email. I'm sure all of you would have gotten my email since morning about this webinar as well. Those skills, you never can tell how they will serve you in the future. And I love that, that particular point. And beyond being able to use it for yourself, for your personal brand, you never can tell the kind of opportunity you get in the future. The opportunities that you get, like she said, that you're able to leverage on those opportunities just because you're able to do something that others cannot do, right? So having digital skills is very essential to be able to future proof yourself. And the other one that also, I will not talk too much because I have a lot of points. Global reach. And yes, you remember when I started this meeting, I mentioned something that we have over, no, I think we are even close to 300, although not everyone joined this meeting, who registered for this webinar. And how were we able to pull this number, if not for, social media and then, utilizing tech and of course, digital stuffs and all that, right? So it's just to tell you about the how social media and the internet is here to help you leverage as a nurse in whatever you do, right? And then we also have and the point where you mentioned monetization can mean different things to
Anything.
different people. Like that was like, I was like, yes, like it just makes sense now because at times you just feel like, oh,
It's
everything
all
about
about money.
monetization is money,
Money
that
is
kind of
none.
thing. In fact, even me, I was thinking, no, money kind, let me just be sincere. And then when you mentioned, I was like, truthfully, whether directly or indirectly, having digital skills can bring money. Let's say, for example, you're able to get an advanced role where you work,
Yeah,
that means more money for you, more salary, but you would not even think along that line,
about
right?
it.
Because you just think, oh, I just want to do, but eventually it's more money. And then, it could mean different things. And then building your brand can also bring, just imagine able to build your brand to have a huge following, and then you get sponsors, influencer, you become an
Yeah,
influencer for brands. It can be directly or indirectly. Right.
yeah.
So, and that is also to also mention the long-term aspect of this, right? So it's so easy for you to get shots, sighted, and then you think in the
Mm,
short term, right? Like you said, so you think, oh, this is not working, and then you dump it. But you never can tell how your
just dump it.
consistency will be able to, bring in the results that will even be mind-blowing for you. Right. So we have a feedback from Purity. I'll read this out and then we can go into the question and answer. So if you have a question, and I have a question for you as well. So why I asked the question and read this feedback. If you have any question, please drop them in the comments. So Purity says, one thing that struck me was what she said. And that one has to start out in the market because you're not alone seeking job roles, right? Seeking certain job roles, and you have to give the employer reasons why it should be you for that role. In fact, I think I just feel like giving Purity a virtual hug. I kind of like forgot about that point and I wrote it down because yes, when you said whether you sell, and that was what I wrote down, that whether you like it or not, you sell directly or indirectly, right? To be able to sell yourself to your recruiter is a skill. And that's even when I coach nurses on, like um getting non-bedside opportunity. I tell them that you sell yourself through your CV, through your resume, your application, you're selling yourself. And then, for your job interview as well, you're selling yourself, right? So yeah, so whether you think, oh, you need sales or not, you need to be able to sell yourself no matter what you do. And also using your personal brand too, right? Is also another way of selling yourself. There's usually this saying that who will promote you if you don't promote yourself? So carry your market for your head. So it's just like a
Yes.
literal way of saying that. So if you don't tell people that
Exactly.
this is what you can do, all this will not, you just be like, oh yes, I can do this. But if you don't tell people you can do it, people will not know that you can do it. Right. So I don't want to talk too much. So I would love if you have questions, and that is why we have actually made sure that we have this session so you can take as many questions as possible, and so please feel free to drop your questions in the comments and I'll be taking them as they come. So as I was listening to Gadima speak, I have this question because I have people like maybe that they have things you're doing, or they have maybe, or they are considering building something online beyond, or how digital skill, you mentioned how digital skills could help in in the career of a nurse, and then how digital skills can also help in building your personal brand. So let's say, for example, I'm interested in digital patient education using social media or creating digital products now. What are the practical steps you can give for me to monetize, this skills or this area of interest? I don't
Okay.
know if you get my question.
Okay, you want to go into digital patient education, right?
Yes, for example. Yeah. So
Okay.
what are the practical steps to monetizing this if I am interested in this area?
Okay, so you need to identify, like I said, it all starts from your goals, right? So who is going to be your target audience? We have different patients. So you need to now ask yourself, what patients do you want to reach out to? Is it patients, is it pediatric patients, right? Do you want to reach out to mothers? Do you want to reach out to patients who have maybe cardiac issues, right?
Yeah.
You need to identify your target audience first of all. Okay, the people you want to serve, you want to educate at the end of the day. When you're able to identify your target audience, who you want to serve, that becomes like a solid foundation for you to progress. Okay. So the next thing now is now to identify the skills you need. Of course, now when it comes to building a brand, now definitely you will need to you need to learn those skills that involves, effective brand building. Okay, first of all, one of the skill that stands out when it comes to building your brand is content creation. And in content creation, it's just even we have diverse ways you can create content. Content creation can be through writing, it can be through visuals, okay, creating graphics like this, it can be through videos, okay. So you want to learn a skill that can help you effectively communicate, effectively share that information that you need to with your target audience, who are your patients at the end of the day, of course. And then you want to also set goals, like that long-term goals. What is at the end of the day, what do you want to be the outcome of this patient education that you're doing via personal brand? Okay, do you want them to become your clients? Okay, do you want to maybe establish a community? Do you want to build a course? Do you want to build an e-learning platform for patients? Okay, so you need to identify these goals and work towards it. Okay, you also want to work alongside mentors, people who have already, achieved or doing something alongside patient education, using their personal brand at the end of the day. All right, and you'll find out that different patients will have their different needs at the end of the day. So you'd want to ensure that you actually seek for feedback, and that is where that survey comes in. You see that skill to be able to carry out patient feedback, that survey, to understand what patient needs are. That research, you need to carry out research to find out what are the patient needs. How can you be able to meet their needs, solve their needs, what kind of mode, okay? Because depending on the patient, like I said, depending on what kind of patient do you want to target children. If you want to target children, then you know that you'll not be directly targeting children, but the mothers at the end of the day. Okay. So you want to find out what kind of information resonates more with your audience. Is it the video content creation? Is it the written format? Do you need to mix them up? Okay. And then you, like I said, also, you need to be able to learn marketing skills at the end of the day. What is the outcome? Do you want this patient to seek for consultation services from you? Do you want them to turn to clients? Okay, do you want to build your own courses, right? At the end of the day. So you need to have that marketing skills that will help the outcome of whatever you want to achieve with patient education come to a success. I don't know if I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, thank you so much, Kadima, for that. So, just few points that let me just highlight some of the points you mentioned rather. So she mentioned, identifying your target audience, right? Because at times it's so easy for you to say, yes, this is what I want to do. And then again, you're confused on how to start, but being able to know what niche you're entering into, like you said, which kind of patients are you reaching out to, would be very helpful, to have the right start. And then, of course, your long-term goals, what do you intend to achieve, from doing this kind of thing. So I just thought to ask this question in case we have someone who might be wondering, oh, I am interested in doing this, then how do I go about it? All right, thank you so much. So we have another question here from Esther. Esther says, I love to create awareness on health on Facebook, but wondering how to start and grow my page. Any tips for me, please? I think you've mentioned part of it, but if you have something else to add to that as well.
Okay, in this case, she would need to actually get a skill in personal branding, right?
Yeah.
She wants to grow a page on Facebook, so you need to get a skill on personal branding. You need to acquire a digital skill on personal branding. And like I said, the first skill you would need is what content creation. Content creation related to social media management as well. Of course, and then you need to now, like, because different platforms work differently. Works differently from Instagram, it works differently from LinkedIn, from WhatsApp. So you need to be able to acquire a skill, right? That is the content creation and content creation, which is tailored to Facebook, because there are actually different ways you will share information on Facebook that it won't work out on other platforms, right? So you need to be able to get that. I recommend getting a skill in content creation, all right, or a skill in social media management. That will help you to be able to know how to start up with building a brand on Facebook and creating awareness, of course. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I believe Esther has found something useful to get started with. And okay, so we have a feedback, not a question. Before I go to the next question from Jamila, she says, setting goals. I believe these are the things she has learned. Identify and assess our goals and objectives, setting time and learn one skill at a time, continuous practice and networking, grabbing any opportunity like this to learn, continuous learning and reviewing our goals and so on. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much. And Praise God says, I'm highly inspired to remain enthusiastic and updated about my chosen career path. So good to know. And all right, so I have a question here from Anne. So, what does this personal branding actually mean? Is it acquiring a skill and showcasing it to improve yourself? So, yeah, so that's the question. It's actually it might be a bit somehow because but I feel like it's the right question to ask if you're just starting out. It's
Okay.
over to
Yeah,
you.
it's fine. No question is bad. I think maybe that should I should go back to that skills you need to acquire when it comes to personal branding.
Yeah.
It's more of, yeah. So when it comes to, okay, personal branding, when it comes to personal branding, is you building an online presence. You have an offline life. An offline life, what you do is what is a nurse, right? And you're a nurse offline, and of course you can be a nurse online. Okay. I've seen some persons who have their career path offline, but when they come online, they don't really even bring up their career path. Rather, they bring up the skills they've learned and position themselves, on their personal brand. So building your personal brand is basically building an online presence for you. for yourself, right? And like I said, for example, LinkedIn, when you choose to build a brand on LinkedIn, it's more of like you building a portfolio for yourself because it highlights like almost everything, the basic things someone needs to know about you. Like they don't even need to go and start doing background check. They can really see it on your LinkedIn from your experiences, your education, your skills. All right. You've probably heard of, people landing opportunities, getting gigs, getting jobs. So this is actually what personal brand can do for you. And personally, for me, like I said from the very beginning of this session, I said if I had not started building my brand on LinkedIn, I wouldn't have connected with Nosmayowa and I wouldn't have been speaking with you all today. So actually, building your personal brand is more of building your online presence, having an online presence, a strong online presence, being able to influence, being able to share insight. Like I said, you have something to share with the world. You have something unique in you to share. And as nurses, we actually have wealth of knowledge in us. Okay, you have something that someone else doesn't know. Okay, there is this common phrase that I do here that learn from those ahead of you. Okay, and then in your own understanding, share it with those behind you. You never can tell, regardless of whatever information you have, there is someone that, by the time they come across that information, that will be the first time they are learning about it. Okay, and that is where building a personal brand comes in. And like I said, the skills that will help you build a personal brand, of course, is that social media marketing. Either you have to choose a platform to start with, okay? Either Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Okay, and then you also want to consider content creation and marketing also. All right, and then we also have other skills. I think yes, we have other skills like writing because when it comes to content creation, it's either you're doing video content creation or you're writing or you're doing the visualization, but which is through graphic designs. Okay, so yes, building your brand online is more of you having a strong presence online. Aside what you do offline, you can incorporate whatever you're doing offline, showcase it online. It could be a skill, it could be your interest as well. How do you want people to see you? Okay, because when people search for your name now on Google, what pops up, right? So that is actually building a strong presence online. And beyond just having a presence online, it brings a whole lot of opportunities beyond just having jobs, monetization gigs. Of course, you connect with people, with professionals in your career, and you don't know where that might take you. So, building a presence online, if you're still, like I said from the very beginning, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what digital skill to start with, really, you should start by picking a skill to build your presence online because it's very, very essential. Like it's needed, highly needed right now. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I think and can you drop in the comments if that answers your question? Thank you so much, Gadima. Just to add to that, personal brand, I would just say is just, you putting out yourself there and showing people that this is what you can do, this is all about me, being able to portray yourself, like show people who you are and what you're competent in, right? So that's also a form of, building personal brand. And beyond, having an online presence, you can also have an offline presence as well, right? So when you have an offline presence, you like building your personal brand offline rather, you're able to also portray, there are nurses you see and you just like them. That's because they built a brand in your mind, and then you already know that yes, I like this person because of this, right? And so I hope that kind of answer your questions, and um so before I go to edugum questions, how do I overcome? I want to ask these other questions because it's kind of related to the first from Patience. She said, "Do you know someone, organization that train people on personal branding and content creation?"
Okay, what's the question?
Do you know someone or organization that train people on personal branding and content creation?
Okay, okay. In terms of organization or maybe getting online courses, actually building a personal brand, it will depend on which platform you want to use. Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? They are actually information right now. Either you find them in the form of ebooks, you find them in training, okay, with building personal brand. So in terms of LinkedIn, okay, in terms of LinkedIn, I we have nurses like Nurse Adeswa, all right. I actually read that her book recently. It has to do with building a personal brand on LinkedIn. So in case you're looking forward to building a personal brand on LinkedIn, you might want to get resources from her. Like, okay, there are resources that you can get, like ebooks and even courses. Okay, so aside that, yes, we also have professionals on LinkedIn and even across social media platforms. That's those who have been able to build their online presence to a large following and they have influence. So most of them today they have programs, they have mentorship. Okay, it's not necessarily an organization, but it is more of you getting resources, you getting mentorship from those who have already built their personal brands and they are willing to share the information with you. So it's more of you identifying, okay, you can decide to learn from a nurse. Okay, you can even nurse my wife here. You can decide to learn from nurse my wife. You can decide to learn from any nurse you admire who has a strong presence online. Okay, and if they have mentorship, coaching sessions, you can actually enroll for that. Okay, if they have ebooks, if they have courses, you can also get access to that. It doesn't necessarily have to do with organization. Okay, but then with LinkedIn, one thing I know for sure with LinkedIn is LinkedIn also has a very I would say call it crash program. They have a free course program that every beginner can actually get access to if you want to start building your brand on LinkedIn. That course covers the basics, where you should start from, how you should put your profile picture, display your headline. Maybe you can start from there, okay? And then each the courses and the people you need to actually learn from will also depending on what platform you want to build on, okay? Because now I'm sharing more of LinkedIn because I have a very strong presence on LinkedIn compared to other platforms. But across social media platforms, you have to connect with someone, okay, who you admire, who has that strong presence, and you learn from them. Most times they have mentorship, most times they have courses, most times they have ebooks that comes with building a brand online. I don't know if you understand that.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering that question. Just to add to that as well, you can also check out Michael Adic for Global Influence. Is like they host online courses monthly and it's majorly about leadership, but part of what they also teach is also personal branding and other form of branding as well. If you're kind of looking at, a more broader part of branding. So it's also something you can check out aside, learning from other nurses as well. So again, it depends on which platform, like she said, you
Platform.
want to, yeah, start from, right? Because Instagram is different from Facebook, is different from
Yeah,
Twitter, is different from LinkedIn. And I realized that, content that you post on Facebook, not even Facebook, LinkedIn, if you do the same on Facebook, it won't even go anywhere. No, not
true.
even talk of Instagram rather. So yeah, so that's also we have a lot of questions. I think 3 to 4, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll not be taking any more because of our time. So we don't stay here till till morning, right? So and please, I dropped a link in the comments for your feedback. It will really go a long way to help us serve you better, right? To be able to know what you need and how we can, tailor our services and our programs to meeting your need as well. So, and then please fill the feedback form in the comments. Please help us to be able to serve you better. Thank you. All right. So, and yeah, so I'm just trying to find the next question. Yeah, so Ipegan, again, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrongly, says, how do I overcome procrastination?
Hmm. No. Okay. With learning a digital skill.
Yeah, if you can maybe drop what area you want us to talk about on how to overcome procrastination, Ipegan, and that would be helpful. Thank you. So I'll go to the next question from Adefe. So she says, thank you, Gadima. The lecture is so impactful. For some time, I've been stuck on what to do. I love to create health awareness to the public, and at the same time, I love to build my LinkedIn visibility. So I don't know if LinkedIn is a good place to start or other social media, and what are the skills needed for this.
Hmm. We are still, thank God, the slide is still showing the brand building, right? Like I said, first of all, you've even answered yourself, which is the first thing. You need to create content, right, for your social media page. So that involves you going into content creation and marketing. That is the first skill you need. Okay, alongside other skills like social media marketing, that is with social media marketing, you need to understand how each platform works. Okay, LinkedIn, for example. Well, other media platforms works differently. You need to assess what strength do you have, what strength do you have, and also the resources as well. Okay, for me, because I've tried out Facebook was not really my thing, so Facebook was not really my thing, so I didn't even try it out so well in the first place. But I've tried building on Twitter. Okay, I've tried building on Twitter. I've tried building on TikTok as well. Okay, and you know that Twitter is kind of similar to LinkedIn, I would say, but not really, really. Okay, because with Twitter, it involves writing as well. All right, more of written content as well as even pictures also do well. Okay, and on TikTok, on YouTube, we are basically talking about videos. Even on Instagram Reels, we're talking about videos. So you need to ask yourself, what resources do you have the resources, and what's your special interest? Because some persons might say that they are camera shy, so they can't be able to, face the camera and shoot videos. Okay, so maybe in this case, you want to go with writing, all right? And you can start from LinkedIn, you can start from Twitter, okay? So, and Instagram deals more with images and also those IG reels, okay? Facebook, I think it's a mixture. There's reading, there's also the pictures format is kind of also more related to LinkedIn as well. Okay, so it depends on what you want to do. It also depends on who you want to serve, like I said in the first place. Now, with your content, who do you want to serve? Which niche do you want to be identified with? Okay, who are your target audience? Okay, you'll be able to, because your target audience are everywhere. All right, they are on Instagram, they're on LinkedIn, they're everywhere. So I can't pick a platform for you, but I can be able to tell you that, okay, if you want to build on LinkedIn, then get ready to write. Okay, you have to build your writing skills. All right, and yes, writing is also a digital skill. Okay, get ready to write more. All right. If you want to build on TikTok, if you want to build on YouTube, if you want to build on IG, get ready to shoot more videos. Okay, so video content creation comes in play. Okay, so this doesn't mean that let's say for example on LinkedIn you not necessarily shoot videos. You can also incorporate videos. You can also incorporate graphics as well. So, but you need to actually find out where you have great strengths. Where do you have interest in? If you're not camera shy, you can go ahead and start creating videos as well, right? But then maybe if you're camera shy, or maybe if you feel like you start more with writing, then I'll consider maybe you try out Facebook, you try out Twitter, or you try out LinkedIn. And like I said, each of these platforms they work differently and they have the way they work, which is now the social media marketing. I don't know for other platforms, but like I said, I know for LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a free course where they give out to their users, okay, who want to start building their a brand on LinkedIn. So you can actually go through that free course. It's something you can finish up within a day or two, depending on how fast you are, to be able to learn how it works and at least kickstart from there. And yeah, but I don't know for every other platform, but I do know for LinkedIn has a free course. I don't know whether Facebook or Instagram has a free course for you to actually begin with. All right. But I do know that you need to learn content creation depending on which platform, and you need to learn how each platform works for you. Maybe we might actually share that link that has to do with the free course that LinkedIn offers
Yes,
for within
yes,
the
that would be
community.
helpful for others.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that response. And to also add to that as well, you can also find out where your target audience, where they are more, where you can find them more, right? Because let's, for example, you're trying to reach young adults, youths, teenagers. Of course, you might not actually find them on LinkedIn or maybe Facebook, for example. I think the best place to even find them will be on TikTok, if I'm
Okay,
not
yeah.
mistaken, right? So
True.
you just need to know again, where your target, like that's everything goes back to what you want to do, who you want to reach out to.
It's,
So it will help you to be able to know how to reach them. Thank you so much for that. insightful response. Okay, so and we have a long one. Okay, please, like I said, we'll not be taking any more questions, so we don't stay here for long. So Ade Todd says, how can anyone access the free course on LinkedIn? We'll share the link. I believe
Share the
Yadima is
link.
going to share me the link, and then I'll send it on the platform as well. So yes. And P said, want to ask if there's a certificate for today's webinar. Sadly, there's no certificate for today's webinar. So, like I said, I believe all you've learned, like from this webinar, is more than enough to be able to, get started on something. But we don't offer certificate for that. And I'm just trying to address the simple ones before I go to the other big one. Yeah, so Adeline says, thank you, Mayo and Gadima, for this inspirational session. Even though I joined late, I got impacted. Please, will there be a replay of the recording? Um, Yes, there will be a replay of the recording, but it is not free. So that is why I made sure to like mention this earlier. So you can actually access the replay for a token. So it's been discounted, and if you're able to take advantage of the discount as soon as possible, you can, get access to the replay. All right. So the next question from Jamila, she says, thank you once again for providing me with this valuable opportunity. I have a question regarding the topic you just discussed. It's actually a lengthy one, so I hope I don't lose everyone. So I'm currently focusing on learning and implementing content marketing strategies for personal branding. Despite having ideas for content, I often struggle with self-doubt, and end up not posting anything. This lack of confidence hinders my ability to stay consistent. I would greatly appreciate your advice on how I can gain focus and confidence in my content marketing efforts. Additionally, I am seeking tips for successful posting on social media platforms, particularly on LinkedIn. Any advice or tools you can recommend on this matter would be immensely beneficial to me. So our question majorly focus on, you know, um, struggling with self-doubt and then lack of confidence, being consistent, and yes, tips for successful, posting on social media and tools that you can recommend.
Okay. Okay. So, first of all, it's all boiled down to why do you want to do it in the first place? What's your big goal? Okay. If you have a goal, if you have a big why, if your why is really big, it will really help you to move out of that self-doubt. Let me also share the part that I've always not been this person who likes to expose myself on social media. If there's anything, I hate being public. Okay, I really did. I just wanted to hide under the blanket, like not find myself in the public, or just having to be on my own corner. Like I don't want my privacy to be invaded, and I felt like going on social media is actually invading my privacy. But then I have a part of me that I want to impact lives one way or the other. Okay, and for me to be able to impact lives with what I've learned, I need to put myself out there. Okay, so that's why I said it all stems out to what's your big why? Why do you want to build a brand today? If you want to build your brand today because of career advancement, if you want to build a brand because of potential opportunities, and yes, you need to think long term. Okay, it's not just for the now. All right, building a personal brand has its own potential, has its own advantage, like long term. Those persons who have built their brand successfully, who have large followings, who have large influences, they all started from somewhere. Yes, the self doubt was there. The resources, they all started with what they have from where they are. Okay, some of them started with, just minor tools. As long as you have your smartphone, I think what you need to get started with is your smartphone. As long as you have your smartphone, you can get started with, right? Your smartphone can help you write down content. Okay. And of course, you don't need to start from scratch. That is why we have AI. That's why we have that artificial intelligence to help you. Of course, you don't just have to rely on AI, but you have to be yourself. Just you can actually come up with ideas, and one of the best ways to come up with ideas is by reading. Okay, read books. Okay, read books, and you also have experiences. You also have stories to share. Trust me, from wherever you are right now and years back, you've had experiences that would benefit someone. So I want you to see personal branding, not just for yourself. See it that the content that I am having doubts with sharing today, there is someone that would have seen that content and that content would have helped him or her. Okay. See it just beyond yourself. See it as you're helping someone. There's someone that will need that content. Yes, you might not get people liking it. You might not get that reaction immediately. You might not get that engagement. But trust me, there's someone that have seen that content. They might not engage with it, but it has helped them. Okay. I have people who reach out, they've never engaged with my content. Probably they might not even like, they might not comment, but they reach out to me in my DM and be like, really, your content really has really helped me. They seek for guidance, even in my LinkedIn DMs. So you don't know where a personal branding will take you to until you get started. Yes, that self-doubt is there. Will anybody read my content? Will people find it useful? But you need to start. If you don't start, you don't know how you would go. Okay. So yes, believe in yourself. You have to start believing in yourself. If you believe in yourself, the people you want to talk to will start believing in you. Okay. So you need to believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. Like I said, if you went through nursing, okay, and you've come through the stage that you are, you can do anything. Okay. So believe in yourself. Read books. Okay. Read books. And they are actually maybe videos, motivational videos, insightful videos that can actually help you. Like I said, the reason I say you should read more books is you will get insight to share. Share your stories as well. Sharing your stories are great tips. You can share your stories, you can share your insights. Whatever you're learning, what have you learned that day? What experience did you have in the hospital or whatever you're doing that day? What experience did you have that day? Someone can be able to learn from it. Okay. So, and like I said, you don't have to struggle with writing content yourself. You can just write raw information, right? Raw information, and then you ask GPT, you ask other AIs like Cloud, we have Bard, we have Gemini. You can ask all this AI to help you, rewrite this content in a way that it will attract your target audience, attract them to read more, compel them to read more and engage. Okay, you'll find out that it will refine that content that will make it tailored to LinkedIn at the end of the day. And of course, learn from top creators. There are people already creating content in your niche, in your field that you need to go to. So you can also learn from them. You can also see what they are doing. Okay. You may not necessarily go into their DMs to ask for, direct guidance, but you can learn from their content. Okay. Instead of just being a consumer reading content, you want to have that eyes that you analyze content. Since you're looking forward to creating your own brand, since you want to start creating content, so you want to make sure that whatever content you're reading, you're also analyzing is that okay, why did this content get engagement? What did this person share? Was it inspirational content? Was it motivational content? Was it educational content? Like I said, if you don't have anything to share, start by sharing your stories, start by sharing your experiences. They will help you a lot because people like stories. Okay, share stories and find a lesson that people can relate with at the end of the day. Share your experiences. Okay, share what you learn on a daily basis at the end of the day. And like I said, see your online presence, see brand building, not that you're doing it for yourself. Okay, see that you're helping someone. There is someone that is going to learn from your content one way or the other. Imagine if we're not building our brands. Okay, none of you would be here today to actually join this webinar. Okay, so we're able to leverage on our online presence to share information, awareness about this webinar. Okay, so like I said, see just beyond yourself. Have a long-term goal. What is the main why that you want to build a brand? When you have a big why, that will help you to break out of that self-doubt. And like I said, believe in yourself. You really can do it. We've all been there, that fear, that self-doubt. You can do it. And like I said, if you've gone through nursing, you can go through anything. I hope that helps.
All right. Thank you so much. That was, I think, well detailed. Yeah, that was well detailed. So, like I always say, just start anyways because you at times there will always be do it afraid. In fact, that has been my mantra for some time now. Do it afraid. Most of people that you see that they're doing so well, they started from somewhere, and in fact from the place of self-doubt. So if you let self-doubt stop you, you're just going to be bitter, not to others but to yourself, because you always see yourself and say that, oh, I could not do this because I was crippled by fear. So do not be crippled by fear. Do it afraid. All right. So And then for your content, you can use the LinkedIn scheduling features. So let's say maybe you're able to batch create content weekend. So you can schedule your content like for specific time you will be posting every day. So if you're posting like 7 a.m., but create your content maybe Monday or sorry, Saturday or Sunday, and then schedule it on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn will automatically post your content for you every day, like as long as you've scheduled them. So that should also be helpful. And please kindly fill the feedback form. Would love to read your insights and how this session has been helpful for you. So, and then of course we have other feedback from people. Thank you, Patience. Thank you very much. Nos Mayowa and Nos Gadima. I hereby apply to be your mentee. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like I think yeah, there are no more questions. So it's yes, it's a great place to start wrapping it up. But before we do so, I believe the people that are still here would love to connect more with Gadima. So let's say there are people who are just meeting her for the first time and would want to know how to connect with you, or maybe get some of your products, or maybe just connect with you on social media, or maybe any services you have to render to them. How can they do this?
Okay, I think I just highlighted it at the last part. Okay, you can actually connect with me more. You can connect with me on every social media platform, right? My name just remains Gadima Love. Okay, you can just search for me across other social media platforms, the ones you're more conversant with. But I'm more active on LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is an app that I might not open Twitter a day, but I always open my LinkedIn app. Okay, so you can message me there on LinkedIn. And yes, while Mayowa read my bio, okay, she mentioned that I actually have a book, and that book was actually written from the conversations I was able to have with nurses for the past, over 3 months since I began building my brand on LinkedIn. I realized that nurses wanted to explore, opportunities beyond bedside, business opportunities, but they didn't know where to start from. Okay, so that was where I got that insight to write down that book. It's called Nursing to Wealth. I forgot to actually include it here, but then it's called Nursing to Wealth. Okay, I could actually get a copy for free. Yes, so you can actually get a copy for free, and you can be able to know. In that book, I also highlighted skills to learn. All right, and can be able to know what type of business opportunities you want to explore if you want to go into entrepreneurship. All right, and then yet, if you want to learn a digital skill, right, you can actually connect. Like I said, connect. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, and then I'll provide more guidance. You can also reach out to Nurse Mayowa, okay, as well. So regardless of what digital skill you've acquired, all right, I have a living testimony that I have acquired digital skills, and not only have they enhanced, my career path, me as a person. We're all looking at that monetization aspect. They brought in that money, and yes, I'm a living testimony that digital skills has helped me to actually make, 7 figures. Yes, even alongside my career. And then helping other persons even explore their entrepreneurship and even earn their first 7 figures by leveraging on digital skills. So in case your main goal is to make more money, yes, you can actually, which though I would say money should actually be the secondary goal, because when it doesn't come immediately, so that you don't get frustrated, so that you have a
Mm.
big why that will keep you going, right? But if you're looking forward to getting more guidance on what digital skill to acquire, or maybe you've acquired a digital skill, but you don't know how to monetize it, you don't know how to, put it out there to market yourself, to be able to get opportunities, gigs, right? And money in return, you can also reach out for more guidance. So alongside that, so in case you just have any other question, or maybe you need more guidance in any other aspect, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, or like I said, every other social media platform. Just search my name, Gadima Love, and you would actually see my photo pop up. You can reach out to me. Yes. And you can also reach out to Nurse Maiwa. She also have insights in all this, right? So it all depends.
Right, awesome. So you already, I shared that link in the comments already. So that will take you directly to our profile on LinkedIn. So you can click on it and connect with Nos Gadima on LinkedIn, right? So if you are looking for a place to start, LinkedIn is actually like, let me promote LinkedIn. It's like I feel like it's the
Yeah,
easiest and the
actually,
simplest place to start and grow.
the support
It's
there
not
is
that
massive.
Yes, and it's not that complicated like other social media. I've done Instagram before, so I've done LinkedIn as well. So I found LinkedIn comfortable. And like you said, if you're camera shy, you don't always want to put your face out there, on videos. It's a place to start, by building your brand. And like I said, we will not take that much. We're looking at 9:30, we'll close this meeting. So you can connect with Nose Gadima on LinkedIn. And then please kindly fill the feedback form as well. And if you're looking at, accessing the replay of this session, if you want to revisit all the points that have been discussed, or you want to just there's a lot of things she has covered and you feel like you need to visit, you can please go back. I've dropped the link rather on the in the comments, and I've sent it on the group chat as well. So it's just a token, and of course the value you've gotten is actually way more than that, and if you revisit as well to be way more than that. So please, yeah, so you can click on the link rather. Okay, sorry, I just got distracted. So you can click on the link in the comments to access the replay, right? So, and I've shared the link as well, and I'll be sharing other links as promised. And of course, so if you're just meeting me, because I think I forgot to introduce myself earlier. I'm
Yeah.
Mayowa Rachel Pokuola. I'm also a registered nurse. I currently practice in the United Kingdom. And aside being a registered nurse, I also coach nurses on how to connect to non-bedside opportunities. So if you have interest in how you can, move from the bedside to other non-clinical roles, yes, you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I'm going to share my profile in the comments and in on what's it called, the group chat as well. And of course I have other products and services in case you're interested and you want to build something for yourself and in your career. So you can register for my one-to-one coaching or join my group coaching. We just had one I think last week or last 2 weeks, and the feedback was mind-blowing. So if you're looking for how you can, take maybe the insights you've learned from this session, you're looking for how to take those insights to the next level, you can register for my one-to-one career coach. And even if you're just looking at how you can build your career beyond the bedside as well. And aside that, I also have other products as well. If you want to, let's say for example, revamp your CV for non-bedside job opportunities, you want to prep yourself for job opportunities, for interview for those job opportunities, you can also um leverage on those services as well. Then aside that, I also have an ebook that I'm also working on and will soon be released. So in that ebook I talked about 50 ways you can make money as a nurse. So if you're also interested, I sent the link to the group chat as well. And like I said, Nurse Gadima will be sharing those links and even some of our own products. So if you're interested in getting that, you can also, click on those links and then what's it called, registered for that as well. All right. So sorry, like because I'm like one doing this, like doing the back end and then trying to speak, so it can be distracting. So yes. So now we will soon end this session, and I know you've all gotten value, but because you are people of honor, right? So I would want you to appreciate Nurse Gadima, for being on this call with us and then impacting us with a lot of value. So please leave your comments, leave your feedback, leave your appreciative words in the comments. Let's appreciate our presence. Let's appreciate the insight she has shared for us this evening, and just to encourage her and then motivate her. And of course, because we are people of honor, let's celebrate her in the comments as well. Thank you, Faith. She said, "Thank you, Nurse Gadima. I really learned a lot. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming." Like I said, we will soon end this session. Dorcas says this, thank you both so much. This was an eye opener. Thank you so much for your feedback. Yetunde says, thank you, God bless you. Thank Amen. Thank you too. And Christina says, thank you, Gadima. This was really inspiring. Emmanuel, thank you both so much. It was insightful as promised. We are glad you got value. And all right, so think